Hello there, gang. DD DeVere here with another Past Blast, playing his retro game of yesteryear. And today we're playing a little bit of HEXEN, Beyond Heretic, released back in 1995. This was developed by Ravensoft and published by id. So what should we do? Let's dive straight on in with a new game, because obviously I am playing this, as is the way with many of these old games, with a source port, GZ Doom to be specific. A lot of purists out there can already be thumbing down the video for that alone. But it is what it is. So the first thing that the big change this game brought, because this is of course actually a sequel to Heretic, there's the ability now to choose 3 classes. We have the fighter, who is fast, uses melee weapons and is quite hard hitting, as well as able to absorb a lot of damage. Cleric, as you can see from his stats, is sort of middle of the road on everything. He also uses a melee weapon for his primary. And finally the mage, as you can see, is slow, quite weak, but is very good at standoff fire. So I shall just pick random, which is a source port edition. Again, as the way, you have a choice of difficulty levels, so I'll just play it there. And it seems we have picked the cleric. So this is definitely definitely shows its heretic roots. Oh, it was getting flanked from the back there. So of course, apart from the obvious differences in the classes, there's also differences in weapons. This is, as well as your pickups, there are 4 class specific weapons that you can get. And then of course there are the pickups themselves also changed for the classes. So for example, bombs act like the little act like grenades for the fighter, whereas they do not for this guy. And for the mage, they act just like standard bombs back from the original Heretic. As you can imagine, lots of traps as you'd expect in this sort of game. So this definitely carries on the tradition from Heretic, and it has some excellent level design, some brilliant atmosphere. Only now there's been a lot more effort paid in with the lighting, atmospheric lighting within the areas of the game. A more hub world that we shall see soon, as well as the ability to jump. Of course, unfortunately, being a source port, there is also the ability to crouch, which is not in game. That is a addition from the source port, so try to avoid crouching, as again you can sort of get to places you shouldn't be able to get to a bit too early if you do that. And as you can see, some of the enemies are very similar. Indeed, you will meet some enemies from the previous game. But of course there's plenty of new designs, some quite interesting and intriguing types of enemies across the game. So there's that went wrong, I got myself caught by my own grenade again there. So there it acts more like a gas grenade with the cleric. That would act as an actual hand grenade with the fighter. And then as just a standard bomb, similar how they worked in Heretic for those who've played it, or indeed there's a video on my channel about it. But again, it's just some very, very well designed and well laid out sort of areas. Let's drop a bomb there and try and get down the back here for these guys. The only downside is that a lot of areas now it's possible to get yourself caught into these sort of alcove areas. There's quite a few of those in this game, in all honesty. Whereas unlike old classic FPS shooters, it's normally a good idea to have a lot of area for circle strafing. You do get a lot of these little alcoves it's easy to get yourself caught in if you're not paying attention to what's going on. And of course there's all the usual secrets to find. good, a health potion. As usual, the inventory system is still there, as is the ability later on to pick up items to let you fly. So it's got all the... It's really just more of the atmosphere, really, than anything else. It's definitely a continuation. It's part of the Serpent Riders trilogy that they were working on. Of course, the final game was Heretic 2, which, of course, has not been re-released. So we'll never, at least not at the time of me making this video. It's not part of the... Therefore, it's not part of the games pack for it, unfortunately. I think that's everything in here. Oh, no, there's some stuff to smash. You never know where there's goodies in these games. It's always worth exploring. Right. I think that was the green key I picked up. Oh, odd. I was expecting it to be an ambush or something then. There usually isn't these kind of games. There we go. Oh, I'm on the wrong thing, aren't I? I want to be on that. Never mind. It doesn't matter. I'll let them get split up now, so I'll just keep circle strafing. But of course, yes, this game also actually added jumping, which was quite new for its time. As at the time, most games it was like Doom and that, it was strafe jumping. Basically, you had a lot of speed, you fell off a platform, and the falling of the platform was the jumping. And then you had an actual proper jump key. So that adds also a bit more to the game. Hey, where are you going? I'm talking to you. So really, I mean, if you liked Heretic, and who didn't, that was a great game for its time, then this is an absolute no-brainer. More the same excellent atmosphere, some of the more excellent level design, and the fact there's the source port for it as well. That also helps. Everyone likes modern resolution support. The other good thing is not so prevalent on this part of the level, but we'll see it in a few moments. A lot more atmospheric lighting this game brought to the table compared to the previous games and other games at the time. There's a lot more atmospheric, yeah, a lot more atmospheric lighting. I'm being hammered by one of these. That is why you have a jump to try and take these guys down. The winged flame demons. So the game's quite a lot more challenging if you wanted the two melee classes. Now, where did he go to? Up there, are you? Like that, is it, eh? There we go. Yeah, it's definitely a lot more challenging. So really, they're like a bonus difficulty level, if you like. I forgot the silver key, didn't I? No, it's in there somewhere. Let's try and... There we go. I'll take a bit of damage from that. Still, of course, sprite-based enemies. The full 3D wasn't really... wasn't till the year after with Quake, of course. But this is still very fast and fluid. Lots of these kind of environmental traps there that you would expect in this style of game. So expect a lot of instant death in places if you're not keeping your wits about you, like there, like falling off, because that's something. There's now fall damage. That was again, a lot of games at the time didn't have that. This adds fall damage. There we go. That's why having looking up and down on the mouse stick is quite a blessing for moments like that. I mean, it wasn't massive damage, but obviously you want to try and avoid it if you can. Yeah, that's right. Shoot the tree. Oh, that went badly wrong. That'll teach me to get cocky, won't it? That was trying to be a bit flash and low pro skills there. It's not getting getting quite the spanking instead. There we go. Again, you want to kind of you want to try and take down the most dangerous long distance enemies first, especially if you are a melee fighter. So yeah, you've got some quite decent inventive weapons, as well as of course the fact that some of the items you find are also very specific to each character. So it gives a lot more replayability that you might not have got otherwise. I mean, it doesn't change the overall pacing of the game directly, of course, but there we go. As you expect, leave the portal to end. Here was a...
Greetings, mortal. Are you ready to die?
Are you? So here we've got something like this now, the hub area. So you've now got a lot more open areas to make your way through. You don't necessarily have to follow a strict path, as you can find different switches in different places. Try and avoid getting yourself trapped in here, which allows you, yeah, again allows a bit more replayability to it. Well, I can't remember where the initial switches are in this level. I always get... There it is. Might not have wanted to do that while I still had all these people hanging around. Never bite off more than you need to chew, I believe is the expression. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that. Right. Oh, there's something that I do want. So plenty of strafing. Oh, everyone's going to keep standing on the thing I want. What's wrong with you people? Right, hopefully they'll follow me down that way. No, they'll hang around there. Of course they will. What are you doing hiding in that corner? Come out of there. Immediately, I say. Of course, there is still that. If you can convince them to attack each other, that doesn't half help your cause a lot better. There we go. Right, let's zip up there. And I'll jump clean over it. There. Now we've got something to equal there. Yeah, a bit of an equaliser here. So yeah, some really cool new weapons. Some funky new level design. Well, top and really good level design. As you can see, it's still all very atmospheric, all nicely, laid out. And the fact you've got this more hub-based system as well. So we'll get around to concluding our dealings here, gang. And of course, the fact that you can play it with different characters to try and change your approach. I don't have much ammunition for this, though. That's the downside. In fact, I have very, very little ammo for that at the moment. Then it wouldn't be much of a fun game if it just whacked you with full ammo right at the beginning, though, would it? Wouldn't be much tension. Ah. Right, that's a bit better. So I suppose there is some, as you'd expect with a game of this age, there is some similarity within the weapons between the classes. Whoops. And again, like the original Heretic, they are actually proper projectile-based weapons, yours and theirs. There's no hit scan, unlike in Doom and that. See here, much more in the way of atmospheric lighting and things. As well, of course, sometimes it's always a trap as well. Which way is I'm going? See, here's an area. If I was to cheat my way out using the inbuilt crouch of the source port, I could do some shortcuttings, but luckily there's a direct way in here. But there are places in the game later on where you could, if you were less than self-disciplined, use that to shortcut areas of the game. So of course, I think it's down to the individual gamer whether they want to play by the rules or not, of course. Come on. Hello, somebody else is over there. But yeah, we'll conclude our dealings at this point, gang. A very worthy sequel, in all honesty. So if you enjoyed the original, and no reason why you shouldn't have done, because it was a great game, this is more of the same, but expanded, basically. And as I say, using the GZ Doom port to give it the modern resolution and modern control support to just smooth out the edges, which is always a good thing. So there we go. Hope you found this video useful and entertaining in some way. And as ever, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to let me know you're alive. And I shall see you all next time. Oh, one cheeky one left, just to take care of. Cross those T's and dot those I's. All done. Bye for now.